Hello everyone, this is Black Marvin from Ghost Act, and right now it's sound design time. Today I'm showing you a quick workflow in Serum to create your patch. I'm going to show you some key points and key steps that you can follow and create your own patch. Create your own sound, because in the end there's a lot of stuff to tweak in Serum. And you know, it's easy to follow a video that how to sound like that artist or how to sound like that artist, but the best is how to sound like you. And that's why I want to provide you with a workflow. Just so you get the idea of this video, we're not going to go deep into Serum. I'm going to provide you with a workflow on how to quickly work with Serum and achieve some sounds you like. We're going to split that into 4 steps. First step would be wavetables. Second step would be filters. Third step would be effects. And fourth step would be macros. And for that example, I don't really know how it's going to end. The idea is to start from point A without knowing where you want to go to point B. Maybe if you just know you want to make a lead or a bass or a pad or an effects. That's all you need to know. For that case, we're going to go, let's say, for a lead. So first step would be wavetables. I'm going to find wavetable that I like. I'm going to go in the advanced wavetables. I like orange. Sounds warm and good. Sounds good. The idea is just to get a wavetable that you like. After that, you can change the octave, you can change detune, wavetable position, you know, all that stuff that you should be familiar in Serum. But the quicker way would be to ask yourself, do I want to put motion on that sound, on that wavetable? In Serum, to put motion, you can use the LFOs, you can use the envelope, as you know. 2 key points, there's more than that, but 2 key points you can always go and look for if you want to put motion on the sound is wavetable position. Some wavetable have some nice action on the wavetable if you change the wavetable position. Like this one. And there's also that warp feature here that you can select which modulation you want, and that, like every not every, but like a lot of other stuff in Serum, you at some point you're going to come up with some modulation you prefer, some of your go-to. Mine would be I was what would be easily FM, frequency modulation, but for FM you need another oscillator. In the end, you'll need another oscillator. We're still in the first stage, which is wavetables. Yeah, oscillator is good. Oscillator B, we'll see. I'm just looking for another type. I'm asking myself, do I want to put motion on it? Yes, I want to put motion. I'm not satisfied with just that. So I can't go to the next step yet. Are you seeing that? Maybe with another wavetable. All right, I've stumbled across, I've checked many different modulation. I've went with asymmetrical plus and minus, and I've put motion on it with LFO2. So what I've did, I chose with some wavetables. I've asked myself, do I want to put motion on it? And I've put motion with LFOs. I could have done it with envelope 2, but that's what I did. Step 2, filter. There's your filter in Serum, but there's also an effects, which is the filter. So in the end, you have 2 different filters that you can use in Serum. Now that we have the wavetable, filtering the sound can give some shape to the sound, some textures to the sound. And for sure, once you're set up with the filters at this stage, you're going to ask yourself again, do I want to put motion on it? Also, at some point, you're going to have your go-to filters or your favorite one. In my case, I really like the bend. I'm going to check how that sounds. I like that. I'll check the comb, which is a go-to for me too. Sounds good. Do I want to put motion on it? Sure, I'll try an envelope on the cutoff. I like that motion that's kind of sliding down. The thing I would need is maybe for it to last longer, and so I'm going to go on the envelope 1, which controls the amplitude. Now it's time for the third step, which is the effects. This is where the workflow can branch off in many directions. The important thing is to maybe have your go-to effects, actually know what the effects does, but since you know pretty much what they do, now with the sound you have, it's starting to take shape, you know. The sound I'm working on, at the beginning I didn't know what it was going to be, but now it's like a lead or almost like an effects. So this would be really good for sidetrans. I think I'm going to keep it. But yeah, depending on what you've worked in the first 2 steps, it's going to affect which effects you're going to use. Some go-tos would be reverb, delay. Easy one also is the hyper dimension. If you're not familiar, it works. Both effects work on the stereo. If you're not done, you could have still, like I said, use the other filter, but in our case, we're not going to. Some distortion is always cool. If though some, like I said, some go-to would be the delay in the chorus. Another go-to effect would be the compressor. It's always nice to use the compressor, especially with the multi-band. It's going to squash your sound. A multi-band. Super crisp. Also, if you put it at the end of the chain, sounds good. And speaking of workflow, we're almost done with the effects. And at the end, there's always the EQ. And I say it's at the end, and there's a reason for that, because once you've done all your settings and you're happy with that, you can put your EQ just to, you know, trim things out. This being a lead, I don't necessarily need those low frequencies. So of course I'm going to EQ it later in the project, but this is a good EQ to start. Maybe I could use this shelf or a bell to spike certain frequencies. Again, you could ask yourself once you're done with the effects, do I want to put motion in it? There's still motion you could put on the effects. So macro, the idea, you could use the macro for a lot of things, but the idea is to maybe go back to some places where we've put motion and to apply that, and so we can have more control on that. So one place we put motion, especially on the cutoff. So I'm gonna apply that on the cutoff by getting here and applying the macro. Sounds good. By doing that, this provides me some quick control over the cutoff. It's something I can automate in my track. So I'm going to rename that cutoff. Another place I've put some motion is the FM. Let's see how it sounds. It's a little bit extreme, so the idea is to set your minimum value and your maximum value, and on your maximum value you still want it to be usable. I wouldn't go really higher than that, so that would be my maximum value. Slight difference, just a bit more maybe. Just a bit more maybe. It's good. So another easy access on the motion that I've put on the sound in earlier stages. So this would be FM and another one. This one's more subtle. I'm pretty much done with the macros, and now that I'm done with all my first steps, I can go back to any step. Let's say the wavetable, if I wanted to add a sub oscillator, just making sure it's assigned to the filter. Makes the sound thicker, you know. Once all these steps are completed, it's easy. You can go. I could also go and swap. Just keep the same settings with some new wavetables, or keep the same wavetables but some new filters. You know. So once you're done, it's easy to go back in every step and change stuff. That would be the workflow I suggest in Serum. It's easy steps, and once you're getting better, you can obviously go deeper, and obviously could have gone a lot deeper in Serum. The purpose of this video was not to go really deep into Serum, but more to provide you with a quick workflow you can use efficiently to create your own sounds. Step by step, easy to follow. So now there's no reason for you to not develop your own sound and be creative. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe for more content by myself or other Ghost Act producers, and I will see you in another video. Cheers!